Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever and whenever you are. My name is Benjamin, and welcome to part 14 for our Ninja Platformer tutorial series. In this video, we're going to be adding a shake effect to our enemies as they get damaged. You can see right now, if I damage this enemy, we have the flash effect. Adding a little bit of a shake on the enemy can add some impact. And we don't want the whole screen to shake when enemies get damaged, so we'll put it on them. A couple things here. First, my voice is somewhat going, it's a little bit scratchy. I have a bit of a cold, but I should still be able to record, so I thank you for your patience with that. The other thing is that I have my new Action RPG course on sale currently until the end of this month. This is May. If you're interested in that, there's a link in the description. And the students who purchase my courses are the ones that make this YouTube content possible, because the amount of money I make in ad revenue is basically non-existent and doesn't make it possible for me to make all these videos. So I really appreciate those who do support my channel. Let's get started. We're going to come over here into the file system and we're going to create a new script. We're going to call this script shaker.gd, and it's going to be of type ref counted. So what is ref counted? Ref counted is just the most basic object that you can create inside of Godot. It's very similar to a resource. Resource is quite basic. Ref counted is even more basic than a resource, but it still is counted in automatic garbage collection. That's why it's called ref counted. So if you lose all the references to this object, it will immediately be freed and it won't take up memory on your computer. And that's why we're choosing to use it over object, which doesn't have automatic garbage collection. Okay, here we go. We'll create it right here and we'll open it up. We're going to give it a class name. Shaker. That will just allow us to instantiate it more easily when we want to create one of these shakers. It's going to have a target, and the target will be in node 2D. It needs to be in node 2D because it's going to be, we're going to manipulate its position in order to shake it, and node, it doesn't have a position. It also needs a starting position, and this will just be a vector 2. And this will just allow us to remember the starting position of the target. That way when we shake it, we can always reset it back to its initial position. And it's also going to have an amount of shakes. How many times will it shake? We'll give it a default of 4. Now it's going to have an init function, and this is just a function that would be called whenever we create one of these objects. And we want to pass in some arguments into this init function. We're going to pass in a new target. So in order to create this shaker, we have to give it a target. Target will equal new target if target is not node 2D. No, we should probably just, it has to be in node 2D. We probably don't need that line. Starting position equals target dot position. Okay, so we pass in a target when we create one, and we store the starting position of that target. Now we're going to make a function called shake. It's going to have an amount, which will be a float, and it's going to have a duration, which will also be a float. Although technically amount is going to be an int. And we'll return void. Now we'll say for I in shakes. Oh no, amount is the distance of each shake. I got that confused here. That's why it's a float, not a flat. You can live there. Amount is the distance between each shake. So you could think of it as shake amount. And shakes is how many. It's, what? I called it shaker. Shakes. Oh my goodness. Shakes is how many times it's going to shake. We could also have that be an optional argument inside of here, but we'll just leave it. So for I in shakes, target.position equals starting position plus vector2. And we're going to just offset their position from the starting position by an amount. So we'll do rand I range negative amount an amount. So for the x coordinate of this offset, we're going to, I'm going to widen this, we're going to choose an amount between negative and positive amount. For the y coordinate, we'll do amount and amount. Now, if you wanted to divide amount by 2 in order to make that amount distance be the total distance, you could, but I find this makes sense to me when I'm using this function, and so I've set it up this way. Once we set this offset, we need to wait for a little bit on our shake, so we're going to create a new timer. Get tree dot create timer. And we have to use target here, and the reason we have to use target to use access get tree is because ref counted doesn't have the get tree function. And so, but we know that our target is a node 2D, so it will have access to get tree. And we can create the timer, and the amount that we want this timer to go for is going to be duration divided by shakes. Because each individual shake should be we want to drag these total amount of shakes over this total duration. Dot timeout. And why dot timeout? Because we're waiting on the timeout signal of this timer. So the timer is automatically going to start, and when it finishes, it will move on to the next line of code, and we'll just say amount minus equals amount divided by shakes. So we're actually reducing the shake amount over the duration of shaking. So it's going to start off more violently and then get down until it's no longer shaking, essentially. And then after we've done the shaking, because this is how we're shaking, we're going to set the target position back to its starting position, just like that. Simple shaker. Now this is this shaker object was originally shown to me by Kyle from back at 50. Pretty sure that's his tag in Discord. I just think of him as Kyle. He does a lot of stuff with Godot. He has some open source Godot projects. I just want to give a shout out to him. I think he has a channel too if you look it up. So, and I can put it in the description of this video. This is a modified version of his. His original shaker looked different than this. I just kind of went with my own style for it, but this was originally his idea. I want to give credit. Once we've set up our shaker, we can go into our enemy cannon and we can create a new shaker up here. So we'll say var shaker. Actually, we'll want to do this, now that I think about it, in an onReady. And the reason because the reason is because, I kind of ran over that sentence. The reason is because the target is going to be our sprite 2D, and we can only get access to that in onReady. We're going to drag sprite 2D down here to get access to it. So just drag, press Control and held it, and then drop. And then we can say at onReady var shaker equals shaker.new. And then the target is going to be sprite 2D. Let's try and pass in a target like 5. Is it going to get mad at us? Yes, okay. So it has to be a node 2D, which is why we use strict typing, because it saves us from having errors in our code. And now we have our shaker. Now when our character takes damage in the hurtbox.hurt function, right here, we can also call shake. So we have our hit flash here, and from our animation, and we can say shaker.shake, and we'll give it an amount of 2 and a duration of 0.2, and we'll see how that looks. And we got an error message. It says timeout so I just spelled timeout without an E. That's why I'm getting this error message here. It says invalid access to property or key timeout. And so Godot's like, what is this timeout variable? Sorry, it's actually timeout. Okay. And there, now we have some shaking. And that looks pretty good. It adds just a little bit more. In the next few videos, we'll add even more polish, including a hit effect and some particles. That's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something, and I will see you all in the next one.